If you have not subscribed my channel yet, do subscribe my channel and click the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload my new video. You will get the notification, and do like and share my videos. Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Skill Forum. So in this video I am going to solve one important problem that is in the point of examination. So that particular problem it has been given twice in the examination. So if you follow this video, it will be helpful for you to solve a design of Spur-Gear problem. If you have not watched my previous video, you just click this I button, you will get the playlist of this design of Spur-Gear problems, so that it will be helpful for you to follow and to achieve good success in design of machine element subject. Okay, we will see you in the next end. Hello friends, so today we will solve design of Spur-Gear problem 2, and this problem is very important in the point of examination, and also you got already 2 times in the examination. So same with the numerical values you got in the examination. Okay, so we'll start. You will get question on your screen so that you can follow with that. So here in the question he has given design a design a pair of Spur-Gear to transmit 20 kilowatt power. Okay, he has given a power of 20 kilowatt, so that I have written power 20 kilowatt. So from a shaft rotating at 1000 rpm to a parallel shaft, he has given shaft rotating 1000 rpm. Okay, that means that is a speed of a pinion, and that is parallel shaft which is to rotate at 310 rpm. So that is the speed of a gear N2, that is 310 rpm, and then assume the number of teeth on pinion as 31. He has given the number of teeth on pinion, that is as Z1 is equal to 31, and then he has given 20 degree full depth tooth form, that means 20 degree full depth involute profile, that is alpha is equal to 20 degree involute, so 20 degree full depth. So next he has given the material for pinion is a C45 steel untreated, that is the material for steel he has given C45 steel untreated, and for gear cast steel 0.20% C untreated. So in the previous question he has directly given the material that is allowable stress value for the particular material, and in this problem it has given only the material Okay, so based on that material we need to find out the allowable stress. So that allowable stress we need to find out by using data handbook. So if you open the table number 23.18 in the data handbook, you have for pinion C45 steel untreated, he has given the value 207 MPa. You will get display on your screen how you need to check in the data handbook. And same way for gear cast steel 0.2% C untreated, we have allowable stress, that is 138 MPa. So in terms of this pinion, so he has given C45 steel untreated, that means that we need to consider it as a SAE 1045. Got it? Fine. So these are all the data he has given, and in this problem we need to design a Spur-Gear, right? So and some of the parameters he has not given, that we need to assume it, like here we need to assume that shock, the condition of the system, and as well as the manufacturing process of that gear, right? Okay, so first we need to solve. So as I told you in the design procedure of Spur-Gear, first point is we need to identify the weaker member. Whichever is weaker member, for that we need to design a Spur-Gear, right? So how to identify? See, to identify the weaker member, we should know the material of the particular member, and as well as the Levi's factor. So by using those values we can identify the weaker member. To identify the weaker member, first we need to find out the parameters, that is number of teeth. So here we have an equation. This equation you need to remember it. So this you may not get in the data handbook, you have to remember it. This is a simple equation. By using that equation, you have I is equal to N1 by N2. N1 he has given 310, the N2 has given 310, N1 he has given 1000. By using that value, you got an I value, that is velocity ratio, that I have written it here, right? So all the values I have written separately in this. So next, by using same equation, we can find out the number of teeth on gear. So here Z2 is equal to Z1 into I, that is I Z1. Z1 he has given I, we got it, right? So number of teeth on gear is 100, so that I have written it here, right? So next, to find out the Lewis form factor, we need to refer this equation 23.116, and with respect to 20 involute profile, we need to get that equation. So all the data handbook equation, you will get it on the screen, so that it will be easy for you to look over in the data handbook, right? So with respect to 20 degree full depth involute profile, we have an equation y is equal to 0.154 minus 0.912 by Z1, that is for pinion, Z2 is for gear, right? So here we have a Z2, right? So this is Z2, this is for pinion, right? Substitute the required value, you will get Y1 value, and for gear, substitute with respect to all the values, you will get Y2, right? So this is Y2 value. So next, once you get a Lewis form factor, you need to solve it by using sigma into Y, that is allowable stress into Lewis form factor with respect to member. With respect to pinion, we got this value 25.78, and for gear we have got this value. If this value is less than this, then we can say whichever is lesser, so we need to consider that is a weaker member. Here in this problem we got this gear is a weaker member, that means sigma naught Y2 is lesser value, that is 19.99 MPa, right? So we got it which is a weaker member. Next, we need to design it. So we need to design the weaker member, that is gear, right? So to design, first we need to solve the tangential tooth load on gear. What is the load will be produced on the gear? So that we have an equation. So this equation you need to use, that is equation number 23.87b. So as I told you in the last sessions, so here he has given the equation. So you need to analyze each term. So P, we have the power in the question itself he has given. CS, that is the service factor, we need to identify. N2 already we got in the question, R2 already we have, right? Okay. So here to find out R2, we have D2 by 2, right? D2, D means diameter of the pitch. So here M into Z2, that is D2 by 2, so substitute the value, you will get R2 value, that is 50 M, right? So here we got R2. Next, CS, that is service form factor. So how to find out? So here in the question he has not given the condition of the system. As I told you in the previous problems also, we need to assume medium shock and 8 to 10 hours duty per day. It should be per day. Okay. So we need to refer the table 23.13, that is page number 23.76, you will get it. See how you need to take that value, you will get on your screen, so that you can refer that. So service factor we got it 1.5. okay. Substitute all the values what we got, we will get an equation, that is FT2 is equal to 18,486.31 divided by Y divided by M, that you will get in terms of M. So that you need to consider it as a equation 1. Okay. So next, once you find out the tangential tooth load, you need to find out the Lewis equation for tangential tooth load. So here what you need to do is, first you need to take the equation for Lewis equation tangential tooth load, that we have FT2 is equal to sigma naught to BPY2 into KV. Okay. So analyze each term. So B already you know, 10M you need to take, P, that is the pitch, that you need to take pi M. So next, so sigma naught 2 we have analyzed it, B we have, P we have, Y2 already we have solved it by using this Lewis form factor equation, and at last we have KV, right? So substitute all the required values and you will get this value, problem. Okay, what we need to do next? So we need to equate this equation 1 and equation 2. So we will get in this form. So once we equate these two equations, we need to get the equation in terms of m cube kV. kV is nothing but a service factor. So okay, sorry. So once you find out, so this you need to consider it as a equation 3, right? So once you consider it as a equation 3, you need to find out the mean pitch velocity, that is Vm is equal to pi d2 n2 by 60,000, d2 and n2 for gear, because we are going to find we are going to design the weaker member, that is gear. So substitute all the required values, you will get an equation of Vm with respect to m in terms of m. Got it? So same procedure you need to follow whatever I have explained you in the previous problem, and also I have explained you the easy method and easy procedure how to solve the spur gear problem, that you can get, and you just click the I button, you will get all the playlist whatever I have uploaded related to design of spur gear. Okay. So next, once you get Vm, we need to make some trials, okay, because here we need to find out the module m, right? To get module, see here all the equations we got it in terms of m. So first we need to find out the module. So standard module we need to select, that is m is equal to 4. So as I told you in the previous problem, if this value m cube kV value, if you got greater than 20 or 25, you need to start considering module value from 4. If it is greater than 55, you start consider from module value 6, right? So you will get an idea how to do that once you solve all the problems. Okay. So you need to consider m is equal to 4. Substitute this m value to this mean pitch velocity. So you will get mean pitch velocity value, that is 6.5 meter per second. So once you get that value, so here that is important point you need to consider. You have to refer the equation 23.134a, and here you need to check what is the mean pitch velocity you got, that is 6.5. So if Vm is less than 7.5, you need to consider this equation. Okay, so that you will get on your screen. So how to get that? So if you substitute that Vm value, you get kV value. Once you get kV value, you need to substitute that value into equation number 3. Once you substitute that equation 3, see how you need to substitute. So you just substitute this directly by considering m cube kV. See, this m cube kV should be greater than this value. So substitute value we got 20.22, right? That is less than 29.428. It should come greater than this value, then only we can consider the module value. Okay. So that here it came less than this value, that's why it is not suitable. Got it? So until unless if we won't get greater value, we need to do some trials. So next we are going to consider m is equal to 5, right? So for that Vm we have substitute that module value here. So you will get 8.115. So here Vm we got see here Vm is less than 7.5, but here we got Vm is greater than 7.5, that means less than 12.5 meter per second. So how you need to select, I am going to display on the screen, you just refer it so that it will be helpful for you to check with your data and book itself. Okay. So you just refer this equation. So you just get this equation and you solve it, substitute all the required values, you will get the value of kV. So that kV, so now you just equate it in the same equation 3, substitute, and the value should be greater than the solved value. So here we got greater than this value, hence we can say that module m is equal to 5 is suitable for this gear. So here I have written module value m is equal to 5, Vm 8.6, that is suitable, right? So you need to consider this Vm, and kV you need to consider this. So once you find out the module value, you need to check for stresses. Here we need to check for stresses. See here how to check. So to check the stresses, so to check that, so why we need to check whether the design is safe or not? For that purpose we need to check the stresses. So two stresses we need to check. One is induced stress and another one is allowable stress. Induced stress should be always less than allowable stress, then only we can say that design is safe. Okay, so here we have an allowable stress. So already we have the allowable stresses, right? So whatever we will get in the question, those are all the allowable stresses. So allowable stress we need to multiply with the kV value what we got here, right? So substitute, you will get 49.2, that is allowable stress, and induced stress same you need to follow it. So induced stress you will get it in the equation 23.93. So you will get on your screen. So substitute it, so you will get induced stress. So here induced stress, so that is less than allowable stress, hence we can say that design is safe. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you just comment me in the comment box so that I will give a solution to your problem or your question. So here one thing you need to remember to avoid breakage. So once we get the safe design, so we need to do some breakage of gear, right? Okay, so to avoid breakage of gear, what we need to find? We need to find out the effective force. That effective force we will get, we have an equation Ft2 by kV, right? So this you need to remember effective force equation. So once we substitute the request, see Ft2 already we have got. So Ft2 is nothing but here we have Ft2 18,486.31 divided by m already we got m is equal to 5. You just substitute, you will get this Ft2 value. Substitute directly here, you will get effective force. Okay, so once you find out the effective force, so you need to find out the bending strength of weaker member, that is bending load. So what is the bending load? We have an equation, so you just refer equation 23.93. So one thing I would like to tell you, so this equation you are going to use it here also for to find out the induced stresses here. Okay, so same equation I am going to use it here, and same equation I am going to use it here also. Got it? So once you substitute all the equation, so sorry, not here, only here we are going to use. So once you substitute it, you will get the bending force, right? This is the bending force we are getting. If bending force is greater than effective force, then we can say that design is safe. Here bending force is greater than effective force. Once we get effective force and the bending force, we can easily find out the factor of safety. So to find out the factor of safety, we have an equation. See, only few equations you need to remember. So this, so just substitute, you will get an factor of safety of 1.55. Got it? So next we will solve remaining design parameters. So once we solve all those parameters, so in that we need to find out all the parameters of the gear as well as pinion. So you need to refer the table number 23.1, that is for full 20 degree full depth involute. You will get all the equations of those parameters which we required for gear as well as pinion. So first we have addendum, that we have equation. So substitute all the values, that major parameter is, you need to substitute module value, that is 5. Okay, so next what you need to do is once you find out all the parameters, you just refer. See here only table 23.1 you need to use to find out addendum, dedendum, working depth, total thickness, minimum clearance, pitch diameter of pinion and pitch diameter of gear, addendum dia of pinion and gear, and then dedendum circle dia of pinion as well as for gear. And see, for this particular dedendum circle dia for pinion and gear, you have to refer this equation. Okay, so and then for center distance, so you need to refer this equation. So those equations you will get on your screen, so that you can refer all those things. So next we have see this one, base circle dia, we need to refer this 23.9, equation 23.9. Okay, so once you find out all those required parameters, design parameters, we need to find out the dynamic load. So for dynamic load we have an equation 23.155. So once what you need to do, you need to analyze each parameter. So Ft2 we have already determined. So Vm, that is mean pitch line velocity. Ft2 already we have. B, that is the face width, already we have, that is 10 into 5, that is 50 mm. Okay, substitute it. Vm we have Ft2, B, C. See this C dynamic load factor we need to find out. So in the previous problem, the dynamic load factor you have to find out by using the condition manufacturing condition of the weaker member. So in the previous problem it has been given that carefully cut gear, right? So suppose if in these types of problems he may not give. So what you need to do is you need to refer the figure number 23.35a. So this is very important point in this problem compared to previous problem. So for Vm we need to find out error F. Okay, so what is the error in the system? So you got 0.045. So you will get on your screen. So 0.045 you will get in between 0.25 and 0.05. So how you need to take dynamic load factor C value? So we have another method to find out if you won't get exact dynamic load factor value, if you are getting in between the ranges, so you need to consider these two range. So here from table we have 23.32, right? Okay, so from this 23.32 from table, so this is from table 23.32. so what you need to do for a steel gear, aluminum, see for steel pinion and steel gear, here we are using steel, both are steel, right? That is SAE steel and this is cast steel. In these cases you need to consider both steel pinion and steel gear. So for this involute 20 degree full depth involute, you will get two values. See, for 0.025 you will get dynamic load factor as 290 Newton per mm, and for 0.05, so you have 2. So how you need to consider between these values? So for that we need to use interpolation method. So this is very important. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to just create the drawing. So horizontal line is nothing but for errors. Okay, that is error, and this is for load factor. Okay, so this is for load. So for so we have a range, right? 0.025 to 0.05. In between these we are getting 0.045 as error. So for this 0.025 we have 290 millimeter per millimeter, and for 0. So you just create a graph. So that is just interpolate this. So in between range, just assume this point is as 0.045. So when you draw a vertical line, so when it intersect this point, this we will get C value, right? So how you need to get? So already we have this value, we need to find out this interpolate value X. So for that we need to use this method, X divided by, this is X divided by 580 minus 290 is equal to 0.045 minus 0.025 minus divided by 0.05 minus 0.025. If you solve that, you will get an X value, so this value. So once you get this value, you need to add this 290 plus X value. See this 290 plus 232. So if you add those two, you will get dynamic load factor value. So this is one of the tricky method which you need to use in these cases. So suppose if you see here, one thing I would like to tell you. So you have solved, you have determined that error. So in the previous problem you have determined with respect to module M, right? So here you have determined with respect to Vm. So when you need to consider module M, so when in the question if he has given the carefully cut gear or class 2 gear like that, so if he has given those conditions, then you need to consider that. So after that, so once you find out this dynamic load factor C, you need to substitute all the values in dynamic load factor equation, you will get dynamic load value. So this is the dynamic load. So next we need to find out the wear load. So for safest design, that wear load should be always greater than dynamic load. So we have an equation for wear load, that is 23.160. So for that you analyze each term. D1 already we have, B face width we have, Q you need to determine it. So we have an equation here, okay, you will get on your screen. You just substitute all the equation. So next, for safe design, as I told you, wear load should be greater than or equal to dynamic load, right? So substitute this. So D1, so wear load we have this equation, dynamic load we have this value. Substitute it and simplify it, you will get load stress factor value. So with respect to load stress factor value as well as involute profile, that is 20 degree full depth involute profile, you need to find out the hardness of gear as well as pinion. So for that you need to refer 23.37B table, which you will get on your screen. So you just refer it. With respect to those value, for pinion you have 350 BHN, and for gear hardness we have 300 Brenner hardness number. Okay, so this is the one of the method you have to solve your spur gear problem, and this problem is very important in the point of examination. I think it has been given twice in the examination. So if you feel any doubts regarding this problem, or if you want to solve any other problem, you just comment me in the comment box, so I will solve that particular problem. Okay, so if you like this video, please subscribe my channel and do share this video to your friends. Thank you.